Welcome to Life Stories with Grace Kansiime Mwesigye. Guys, this is a video that you must watch up to the end because I've waited for this video for up to 5 years. Thank God this story has finally come, and I'm grateful to this, my beautiful queen. This is my daughter, Hope Kansiime Mwesigye, the love of my life, my friend, and she has this story that all of you must listen to because there are lots of lessons that you must listen. Hi, Hope.
Hi, Mommy.
Hey, hi, Mommy, like I'm your buddy. Yes, this is my girl. If it is your first time, kindly subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, subscribe. To all the returning guests, thank you so much. To you who are coming for the first time, thank you. Subscribe, like, share your stories, my comment, and let me know how things are going on in your end. Now, this beautiful girl that you see here,
I'm beautiful.
5 years ago, she took to drinking, drugging, rebellion, and doing everything that will get a mother run crazy. It is a shock, right? Because for all these 5 years, none of you have ever seen me lamenting or crying or running left, right, and center like a headless chicken. I decided to look up to God. I decided to still love this girl. I decided to seek my help from God, and I closed my mouth. You know, it is so difficult when your child is at that very dangerous stage, when your child is talking about suicide, when your child is drinking and getting, wanting to fight you, wanting to destroy your life, when your child is not appreciating you, when your child cannot see the love that you're sharing with her. Now, that is a time where many people lose it. That is the time when many people's faith fails. I thought about going for, these herbals they say you put in alcohol, she drinks. She said no. And she always told me God will help her. Even in her drunkard state, she always told me God will help her. No, that is funny. Someone drank to stupor and she's still saying God will help her. I don't want even to tell you that at one time we went into her room her father went into her room just to say hello in the morning, and we found her in coma. Picked her, took her to hospital, and she would still say,
I think I was in coma for like 6 hours of some days.
Yes, in coma. But she still said God will help her. Shortly she's going to tell you her story, but I want to remind you of one thing. Where the Bible says that teach your child the way they should grow. When this child has grown, even when they try to wander, they can never wander away from that path that you showed them when you showed them when they were young. Finally, my daughter is here. She gave me the go ahead. She's recovering steadily, and I want you, if you ever meet her on the road, please love her. Love her for me. Just encourage her. If you have a child that is stuck there with these habits, call her. She's an excellent counselor. She's recovering steadily to the glory of God. Hope, tell people, where did you start from? We didn't teach you how to drink. We didn't teach you how to party. We didn't teach you how to alcohol. You know, at one time you said that after midnight there's nothing
There's
good
nothing
there.
you can get from outside.
But you went up to 3 o'clock, came and...
After 5, after 7.
Tell the people what happened to you and how you landed yourself into that situation.
So really, I grew up a quiet child. I was a quiet child.
Yes, and very organized and
Yes,
clean.
very organized, very clean, quiet. But then, I God blessed me, and I took that blessing. I think I got it, and I couldn't believe that I was blessed. Like, I would get jobs, and I can't believe that it's me. I don't believe that I deserve those jobs. So I remember this all started with when because I was in Nigeria and I was working in Nigeria. But in Nigeria, I would drink, but to a limit. You understand? To a limit. Sometimes
Maybe you can share with them how you went to Nigeria.
Yes, I went to Nigeria to do music. I went to Nigeria to do
study.
music. to do music. Then I studied music. I studied music as well. So after that, I got a job on radio. From radio, I moved to TV. So while I was there, I was drinking, but to a limit. To a limit. My problem started really. So I came back from Nigeria in 2022. I came back here and then I got a job at Text Media. So when I remember the day I was told the people I was going to be working with at Next Media, I was like, what? Me?
Yes.
How?
How do I get to work with the big names?
How do I get to work with these big names?
The big guys.
How do I deserve it?
Cheating with the big guys.
And then I was like, you know what? So I remember on the first day I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll be cooler if I drink before I go to work. I was like, but I won't do it again. So I drank and I did it excellently. I won't lie. I did it excellently. So I kept on doing it to a point that now it got to like 2 months after, people now knew me for drinking. You would open my bag, there would be Uganda Waraju bottles. But I was like a brewery on its own.
In fact, whoever came close to you would get drunk.
Exactly. You come close, you just get drunk.
And what did you used to tell me every time we asked you?
Mommy, you don't understand me. You don't understand me, mommy.
Yeah, I didn't drink.
I didn't drink. What do you mean?
My mouth.
Smell my mouth. And then when I would be like, smell my mouth, I'd be like, I'd lean back. So
she really denied it. And to your parents who are out there, when the denials get to the heights,
it's a bad sign.
It's a sign that your child is beyond that sorry state.
Yeah. So I kept doing it, and I'll tell you something. What actually is funny? They caught me, and even my parents caught me only. And mommy, you don't know this. You caught me 10% of the time. 90% of the time, I moved past you.
Yeah, that's true.
90% of the time, I moved past work. I did my job excellently. I moved past my parents. And there was no conviction in my heart because honestly, I didn't know God like that. So there was no one to tell me that, like what you're doing is not right. Me, I was like, I can't work with so and so and be sober because they're going to know that I'm a fake chick. Honestly.
So you wanted to fit in.
I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be cool. I wanted them to know me as funny. And I thought when I'm drunk, I'm funny.
When you're drunk, you actually look so different from the beautiful girl that you are.
Me and you was funny. Simani Biogamba, but me and you was funny. So,
how did you feel every time you saw me cry?
It broke me. I wanted to, every time I would see my mother cry, or ask me, the moment she would ask me, what did you do? My heart would break. But I didn't know how to stop myself. And I wish I knew then that was a sign of addiction. I didn't know how to stop. Like, I would look for the next best option. Like, okay, if I've drunk 3 today and mommy has cried because of 3, tomorrow I'll drink 2. Does that make sense?
So mothers who are there, even when she has taken 3 and tomorrow she has taken 2, you cheer them on, right? You cheer them on that she has drunk. And then what really made you hate me so much, at the same time love me so deeply?
Now,
because I know you're we are the best of friends, but you turned and hated me, and that broke me down.
Now, let me tell you, let me give you guys a very short story. So I moved out of home because I liked someone and they wanted to stay away from home, so I also said I'll stay away from home. And then one time, I couldn't make it to work, so I lied that I was sick. You see, because of drinking, all because of drinking. So I lied that I was sick. So I texted my mom and I texted mommy, our mother, and I said that I'm in hospital. So I admitted myself in hospital because I knew maybe there'll be malaria or something. I always have malaria for some reason. So I knew there'd be malaria or something, so I would be sick. So they admit me, put me on a drip. So my mom comes and she's like, this one and her friend, They're always drinking. So my mom is trying to like, she's angry.
I
She
tell
was
you, that day
angry.
was my nightmare.
She was
It
so
was the
angry.
peak.
She was like, she was trying, she was, these people are just drinking every day. So I'm like, I removed the cannula from my hand. I don't know what got into me, guys. Guys, the devil is a liar, because when he
He's a
wants,
liar. He can
when he
never
wants,
overcome.
when he wants to turn you against your family, I don't know when we set up and tell my mom, get out.
And she told me that I prefer my friend over you.
Over you. I said, get out.
Wow.
My mom said, we're going to get back the money from the rent. I was like, get it. I have money. I have money. Get the money back. I have money.
How much did you have?
How much did I have, really? Maybe I'd have gotten it from daddy. So I really came on her like that. And it was, and we didn't talk for like a month. And if anyone knows me, or if you know my mother, you know I'm her heartbeat.
Look at you.
And she's my heartbeat as well. We can't spend a day without talking, not because we stay with each other, but because
Why couldn't you stop?
It's just a thing with addiction. That's what people don't understand about addiction. You're helpless.
Yeah.
You're helpless. You want to stop, but then the shop calls onto you. The shop that sells alcohol, you're like, let me just stop for one. And then one becomes three becomes five. And thankfully, I've never drunk beer. If I used to do beer, I would have been people that do a crate. I used to do bottles of gin, Uganda Waragi, not to diminish any brand, but Uganda Waragi. So I would do that. I would do like 1 or 2 bottles. If I've ever extended, I did 2 bottles.
Which kind of bottle?
The one for 7,000, the glass small one.
Wow.
That's what I used to do. And I used to do it every single day. And you know the funny thing is, there's a day I thought about stopping. Then I went to a supermarket and the lady said, sorry, you always buy this Uganda Waragi. Do you do it for losing weight? Because you've lost weight. And if you know every woman out there, you always want to lose weight.
That's how the devil sets you up.
So I was like,
at any stage,
I've lost weight.
Helpers of distraction.
Because I wanted to stop then. I was like, I've lost weight. And I was small then. Right now, I'm much bigger. I was small then, but I was like, I've lost weight. Let me keep doing this. And I wouldn't eat. I would throw up when I would eat. Like, my life was so disgusting then, honestly. It was disgusting. But for some reason, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop when my mom would cry. And all I would know is, okay, this time, because let me tell you how the devil gets you. Either it was the devil or God, one of the two. But every time I drink, I want to talk to my parents. I come back and I always want to talk to them. I think you know that.
That was good. Because some people will drink and they will hide away from them.
Because I come back and I want to have a conversation.
And you know that conversation would be so forceful.
And
I
said, I want to talk to you. I said, I want to talk to you. You're my best friend. Let me talk to you.
and in most cases, that's how I got to know that you're drunk.
Yeah.
Anyway, to parents out there, see, I am celebrating, I am testifying a victory that God has given me. But it has been the most difficult 5 painful, sorrowful years. I used to do children's videos on this channel. Parenting, how to get your children to do this, because my children were really perfect. And so when she went into this, I told her, I said, now what do I tell parents? What do I advise them to manage their children? And then she said, Mommy, you don't have to stop. Tell them how you go through every single day. And I said, fine. I put one particular video on this channel and I said, if you never know what to talk to children, if you never know what parents are going through, just keep quiet. If you see someone's child getting spoiled, just keep quiet. Because 10 years back then, I could never believe that I could be in that same situation. Probably God saw my love for children and how I was counseling the children. And he allowed me to go through this so that I can be a better counselor. Now, let me tell you this story. My daughter is in this depression mood. She's drunk. She is in the bedroom. You try to resuscitate. You're giving juices. You want to show love. You want to do all these things. Then they bring for me children to counsel in my sitting room. My own is in the bedroom. I counsel these children who have come in my sitting room. They abandon their evil ways. They abandon their drinking. They abandon their rebellion. They go back to their parents. My own is in the room. Now, if that is not a difficult test, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? You're counseling other people's children. They are recovering. Your own is in the room. At one time, I was supposed to go and talk in a youth conference. I have already spoken to the youth. These children, when they were young, I used to carry them along. Let's go and talk to young people. Go and share with them your experience and be as honest as possible. So over the years, I have been talking in youth conference, and there was this big one that I was supposed to go to. And this girl was out of the home for 3 good days. No phone contact, nothing. I didn't know where she was. And so when it was coming to time to go for this youth conference, I sat in the chair. I said, God, I don't think it's right for me to go for this conference. My own child is not here, but you're sending me to go and talk to other people's children. Really, God, is that fair? As soon as I finished saying that, and I was about to pick my phone to call the head who had called me for the head of the conference, the organizers, to tell them that I was actually going to lie, to tell them something has come up and I have to go to my office. I really had packaged a very bad lie not to go. While I was finishing and picking my phone to call, my child called. He said, Mommy, I'm okay. I was with someone. This person forced me to call you. At that moment, I picked up my phone, my bag. I was already dressed up, sat in my car, went, spoke into that conference. I saw hundreds of young people come to Christ and repent of their rebellion that they've been having against their parents. Now look at me. Other people's children are repenting. They are coming to Christ. They are promising to go back and apologize. I don't know where my own child is. It was the most difficult time of my life. But guess what? It was a test of faith. It was a test of faith. I could have chosen to go to do witchcraft. I could have chosen to send her out of the home. I could have chosen to deny her food. I could have chosen to say and I am sorry, Hope. I know sometimes I spoke very hurtful words to you. I know I would ask you what is your life now. I am so sorry. Let me apologize to you public on this one. I sometimes say those hurtful words. Then I would come back and tell her I'm so sorry. I withdraw those words. I would go back and pray and cancel the words I've spoken. But we stood with Hope. Provided everything she needed. She came drunk. She would make sure that there's meat in the fridge cooked. I even bought an air fryer so that she just gets the meat. By the way,
Mommy would not be talking to me.
Yes.
Should not be talking to me, but then in her anger, she'd be like, there's sausages in the fridge.
There's cooked meat, there is chicken, there is beef, there is goat. I would make sure that she has something to eat, even in the midst of pain, in the midst of... Actually, it was not so much of anger.
But let me ask you, for the parents out there, how did you find the love? Because one day I'm going to have children. And, okay, God forbid they'll take the route that I've taken. But how did you... Name. Amen. But how did you find the love? Because now when I look back, even me, I'm disgusted in my past. So how did you find the love? How did you manage to find that willingness to not throw me out?
The grace of God. It's just the grace of God. I cannot tell you I'm special, I'm super or what. It's just the grace of God. And at the end of the day, what did I always tell you? Never miss heaven.
Yeah.
Never be found in a position where when Jesus showed up,
you won't
make it. And for me, that was the cry of my heart. I would say, never be in a situation where Jesus cannot be. Never be in a situation if Jesus came back, you cannot go with him. That was always my prayer. And I always prayed for grace. Now, parent out there, it can be so burdening. You can be sitting there and you're crying and you're so heartbroken and it is so burdening. Pray for God to give you the grace to go through it and have faith that it will end. And so one day I would wake up and I would say, one day, Hope will be preaching like she used to preach at 7 years. Look at her now. She's the one who is talking to the young people and encouraging them. So to parents out there, what do you advise them?
To parents, I would tell you that your child, if they're going through what I went through, they know what they're doing. They just can't help themselves out. They're in an escape room. An escape room is a place where you know you're in danger, but there's no door. So you're just trying to navigate. You know, sometimes it's depression.
Falling from one wall to the other to escape.
So just be kind with them. Try to reason with them. I wouldn't say being harsh doesn't help them, because then they'll find friends. Because trust me, the friends are there.
You really found friends.
I really found friends. The friends are there that will tell them that what they're doing is okay.
Oh my goodness, you really found friends. I would look at the friends and I would say, God, just have mercy.
Yeah. So that's a time to make your child your best friend. Understand them. I think it would go as far as, my mom hasn't told you guys a story. She picked me from a bar where I was drunk.
Yeah, I would go there
and
in
I was,
my long
and
dresses.
I was threatening suicide. They came and picked me from the bar. So if you need to do that, if you're
go sit there in the bar,
go and understand.
Fight for your child.
Exactly.
You know, fight. You cannot. I tell my children that I cannot carry you for 9 months
and lose you
just like that. So for me, it's a covenant that I'm holding this child in trust for God. I am only holding her in trust. God is her protector. She belongs to God, and I'm only holding her in trust. And then for me to carry her for 9 months and then give up and let the bottle of Uganda Waragi win, that was a no-no.
God forbid.
I bent on my knees. I went and prayed. I fasted, went on the prayer mountain and prayed. Now, I want to thank Esther. Esther, you are such a wonderful friend.
Auntie Esther.
Yes.
Yes.
She stood with me. Auntie Esther, you prayed for Hope. You loved her like your own.
She loved me.
You went with me up to the prayer mountain. You stood with me. You encouraged me. Thank you.
Auntie Esther, you're a boss.
Now, if you have friends who can pray, please let them pray with you. And if you have children who are drinking there and you don't know what to do with them, I volunteer. Because what God did for me
does not
what
exist.
God cannot do does not exist. And what God did for me, the reward I can give is just to make sure that somebody's child out there is helped and is free from this. For now, please sign and like this video, share your comment, and
tell me how cute I am, because I'm cute.
And she's still single.
Please.
Bye.